sure everyone remembers these reactions to the Super Mario Bros. Movie cast.
What?
What? Of course, is
What?
who will be played by Chris Pratt.
What do you mean? I'll do
He's
it.
so cool.
What?
Mario will be talking a lot in the movie.
It's so cool.
Please look.
And though they have reacted to the first few trailers for the movie, I feel the need to respond to what they said. And even if they get the idea or have acknowledged it via comments and tweets, I still think this video will be somewhat of a good learning experience for writers and creators like me. First off is Arlo. His complaint in the second trailer was,
it's sounding more and more like this is confirming that yes, Mario came from the quote-unquote real world, which I hate. I'll probably make a whole video on that later. I'm not going to talk about that right now.
well, I'm sorry to tell you this, Arlo, but the whole isekai plot point has been a thing since the anime film. Now I could see why and how the Deke cartoons as well as the live-action film would turn you off on this. And I get it. Isekai animes have become super saturated. What once started with just a few turned into millions, and it makes it very difficult for each one to stand out from a first impression point of view. And don't even get me started on the reincarnation bullshit. But the point is, this plot point has been a staple for most of Mario's media. I get why you'd be sick of this, but I'm sure both Nintendo and Illumination used the anime film, Deke cartoons, and the live-action film as a basis for inspiration when they were developing the story. We'll come back to the isekai topic later, don't you worry. But the second thing that Arlo talked about was...
And then, you know, he gets beaten up by DK, because that's really what this trailer is really hammering home, is that Mario is like this bumbling idiot who's bad at everything. I mean, I guess if this is like an origin story, I guess. That's not Mario at all, in the slightest. I get that, I guess it's better for a movie, I suppose. Like, oh, of course, the main character is stupid and bad at everything, because that's how we write movies. That's how movies are. So, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of that. Seems a little obvious. It kind of feels like that's all of the humor in the movie is just going to be, look how much Mario stinks at everything. I don't really get it. That's not Mario. Whatever.
Well, you are correct, Arlo. Like the Sonic movie, this is an origin story for Mario. And the way origin stories work is that the protagonist starts off as a novice until they become the hero they were destined to be. So of course Mario is gonna start off clueless in this fantasy world. Spider-Man doesn't start off as a perfect superhero even when he decides to use his powers for good, so it's no different that Mario won't be that perfect from the beginning. Also, this is supposed to reflect us as the player who played our very first Mario game. No one is gonna beat a Mario game on their first try, without taking damage or dying. It's all in the trial and error that we have to put up with. I can certainly tell you I was no super player when I first played Super Mario World, but after lots of trial and error, I managed to become the gamer that I am now. And I'm sure it was no different from you when you played your first Mario game. Don't lie or deny it, you know it's true. And finally, Mario's not supposed to be a perfect hero. In a 2009 radio interview, Miyamoto stated that he just wanted to create an ordinary odd-job man that does nice things for society. He didn't want to make a perfect hero, and even the idea of making it would have been embarrassing for him. Honestly, I can really respect him for that. Mario represents us as the player, the everyman. That's why Chris Pratt was cast as the plumber, because after his work on the Lego movie, he was clearly up to the task of portraying the everyman. It's not what's on the outside, it's the heart and soul that counts. Look, Arlo, if you want a perfect hero, then you clearly need to read comic books. And now for Vinny, and the isekai topic. So this is what he said in the first teaser trailer.
You know, some people were saying, what if it's a player goes into the video game and becomes Mario? That almost makes a little bit of sense. And you can maybe see, like, at the end of the movie, it's just a dude and his brother playing video games on the couch. It's Chris Pratt and Charlie Day playing as Mario and Luigi, and they're in this world and it's their imagination. It's either that or something like Captain N, where he gets sucked into the TV. Just a thought. I don't think this is actually the case, but that is one potential way to make Chris Pratt as Mario make sense. And again, it's not that he's terrible, it's just unfitting.
Vinny, that is a horrible idea. It just sounds like the recent Jumanji films with the elements of Captain N, and I would not be down for that. The concept of two random guys who I don't know or care about being transported into a video game world and turning into the Mario Bros doesn't sound that original. Especially when, as I said before, there's a saturation of isekai media. It doesn't feel like the Mario Bros, it just feels like two shady guys masquerading as the Mario Bros, and is trying to trick us into believing that it's the real Mario Bros when it's blatantly, obviously not them.
Just what the hell do you want, monster? Oh, alright, yeah, you want our money. You want our money, that's right.
Nintendo is better than that, in which they don't follow popular trends, they make their own trends. So them following the reincarnation isekai bullshit goes completely against their creativity. If the movie went in that direction, I wouldn't be happy. In fact, I'd just be confused and would consider this film to be worse than the 1993 film, because at least the live-action film portrays the Mario Bros as actual characters, even if it's not perfect. But obviously the anime film is the superior one, despite the world and elements not being fully fleshed out at the time. Hey, this was the first video game film after all. So there you have it. I hope that opened your mind or at least gave you some food for thought. But overall, I can't wait for the Mario movie! So be sure to stick around for the review.